Fascia literally connects everything to everything in your body. So if you change one thing, it will change absolutely everything. This is a great example of how fascia works in your body. Imagine the elastic bands here are your fascia and the wooden parts are your bones. Fascia actually holds your bones apart from each other. This is called a tensegrity model, and this holds the answers about why training fascia can be so important for your body. By training fascia, you can mobilize while stabilizing your body. This is because by training each of these elastic bands to work together and be springy where they needed it, it allows your body to work in the way that it was designed to work. And if there's any issues with any of these elastic bands, i.e. your fascia, then it can create problems in your entire body. If you imagine this part is a knot in the fascia, you can see clearly that for one, these bones aren't moving as they should, but also there is a compressive force on them because they are drawn closer together. And thirdly, even though the knot is over here, because the entire model is connected, it means that these joints aren't going to move as well due to a blockage over here. So by training the fascia and actually undoing these tightnesses, it allows your body to move more freely as a whole unit. And when your body is moving more freely as a whole unit, this can actually create power in the system. And this is because of the elastic nature of fascia. Now, just like in this model, fascia is elastic. So when everything is moving how it should, there is a good rebound effect. And this gives you what is called free energy. Imagine dropping a basketball. That basketball is going to bound back up, but the energy that helps that basketball bound back up is stored in the rubber itself. This is a lot like fascia. In your body, you can store energy in your fascia. So when you're running and you go for a stride, a lot of that energy that is used is actually free energy because it's energy already stored in the elastic nature of your fascia. So the more healthy and trained and strong that fascia becomes, the more efficient and free your energy becomes. So you will be able to output more energy but without consuming so much energy in the first place. By training and putting force through your fascia, it will actually lay down new tissue and become thicker and stronger in that area. This has been shown in athletes, specifically one study of a javelin athlete whose fascia in their pectoral from throwing the javelin is around 4 to 5 millimeters thicker than the one in their non-throwing arm. So this obviously means, again, more power, more stability, and if this fascia is healthy and movable, then more mobility in that joint too. So fascia surrounds every single joint in your body. So if you're able to mobilize it and stabilize it in this way, the fascia will help to protect all of your joints too. Now, I've already mentioned that training fascia can help reduce knots in your body, but this can go even further. I'll use the model again. So when there's knots in your body, it actually reduces the space in your body. But when the fascia is healthy and able to move how it wants, it increases the space in your body, allowing it to move in the way it should do. And this can even make people grow taller. If you imagine there's so many knots in this model that it can actually compress your entire body down. reducing your height over time. So the other end of this is by training your fascia, you are able to actually improve your posture, allowing you to stand up tall with your shoulders back with absolute ease, because every single elastic band in your system is stable and equalized, and nothing is pulling on anything that it shouldn't do, i.e. pulling you forward, i.e. tightnesses on the front, and not allowing you to actually stand up straight. And this is so good for people who lift a lot of weights or do a lot of exercise that is going to tighten their body. Just by training the fascia, it's going to allow your body to align in the way that it's supposed to do. Another great thing about training fascia is its role in the pumping system of your body. Now this is pumping blood, hydration and lymphatic fluid. Just like in a massage, where a massage therapist is manually squeezing the muscles to pump fluid through them, by training your fascia, it actually uses the natural pumps in the body to get your fluids moving around the way they should. And to get the most out of this, it's important to know that the fascia doesn't have one direction, it's a multi-directional tissue. So by training in one direction, you're never going to be able to squeeze and massage all that fluid into your entire body. True fascia training should use some sort of multi-directional movement where the fascia is getting squeezed and pulled and stretched in multiple different directions. Now, although the fascia isn't so stretchy itself, it does something called sliding and gliding, which is where the individual layers of fascia can actually slide and glide over each other. And this is all helped by a fluid called hyaluronic acid. So an unhealthy fascia, this hyaluronic acid would actually work to glue these tissues together, but by moving them the way they should, it allows them to glide around each other, allowing lots of fluid movement and mobility, and it's all from moving that fascia the way it wants to move. Another key thing in fascia is the amount of interoceptors it has. And what these are is receptors that speak to your brain. And they're kind of like they kind of tell your body that it's okay. So if your interoceptors are happy and there's nothing bad going on, then it will send messages directly to your brain that everything's okay. But if the fascia can sense something's wrong, maybe like a slight injury or a tightness or a bound, a gluiness, then it's going to actually send messages to your brain that things aren't okay. And your brain's going to read that, and every decision you make in your life is going to be affected by these interoceptors. So that's how, although the fascia is connected to everything in your body, it also connects into your brain. So by changing the way you exercise your fascia, you can actually change your outlook on life by creating this positive feedback loop and allowing your brain to make good decisions, because it's working off this foundation of feeling good and okay. Now, with all these great benefits, there's actually little disadvantages of training fascia. And if you add it into your routine, you will realize soon that it doesn't actually affect anything else negatively. It kind of just makes everything better. So the timeline of how these changes will happen in your body is right away. When you train your fascia, you will notice a difference. You might feel more open, you might feel more stable, you might feel like it's just a bit easier to stand up tall. And these changes will last a little bit of time. And then if you can do the exercises that work very consistently, perhaps once a day or once every other day, then in about 6 months, these changes that you noticed on the first day will be assimilated in your body, and you won't really need to do the exercises so much anymore, and you can start to reduce the volume or find some new exercises that will improve another weak spot in your body. If you want examples of exercises that are going to give you all the benefits that I've spoke about in this video, check out my follow along videos, because they will give you a nice introduction of how to start making these changes in your body. Thank you. Peace out.